Afternoon, y'all. Figured I would uh not that I'm coming out with the scouting report none too early, right? For Steph and them, I need to start getting it to them, like a day before, probably, mm, since it doesn't appear they do very well on their own. I do want to go over several things. Uh, First things first, obviously, game tonight, 7 o'clock, be for Lynx. Uh, things we've got to do better. In the absence of CC, but we've got to continue, obviously, as a team, uh, even when she's able to play. Right, keep the opponent off of the offensive glass. Stop paint penetration. I mean, a lot of these things are givens, right? I mean, you learn this shit in, I don't even know. Whatever. I'm just going to move on from that. There's seriously a lot of basic skill sets that, or fundamentals, I should say, or yeah, I mean, for lack of better words, is what it is. But, you got to think too defensively. We don't do well at all, regardless of the defense we're running, filling the gaps and, cutting off the passing lanes. That in itself says a lot about court vision and you know what we lack. Now a lot of narratives and things being said out there, and what have you. I said, obviously, as far as my channel goes, uh, I don't get short of, like I said, a coach, a player, uh, sending me info if I ask for it, but I don't. So you know unless they just happen to see my channel, but I didn't tell them I had one, so it just is what it is. Uh, but yeah, you got asset. I mean, Agnes over there. Uh, and I would think that courtside and John and Keith the Vision, Angry Fan Sports, that those guys, obviously I support them. You guys go like, subscribe, support their channels. Don't like and subscribe my channel, uh, unless you want, uh, you know, uh, just the facts. I'm not gonna get into none of the drama and speculation of, is CC coming back? Should she come back? You know, is Steph White on drugs? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'd be willing to shit if I was a damn Timpson or somebody didn't get a whole lot of playing time. I might call the police and have them do what do they call them things? Welfare check. That might delay her appearing at the game on time. That'd help us out maybe for at least a quarter and a half or something. We get a big enough lead she can't fuck it up. But anyway, so things we don't do well. I mean, it's obvious, right? In the games, we get stuck on screens. Okay, so there's your we can't fucking hedge. We can't skinny over the top. We don't know, regardless of the team or the player on the team. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to decipher who in the fuck you're guarding in the first place to know whether or not it's worth even trying to go over the screen, or if you even need to, or just laying the fuck back and, you know what I'm saying? Beat them on the other side. Jesus. How hard can it be? But I'm gonna tell you this: we shot 66 almost percent from the 3-point line for Friday night, and 55% from the field. If anybody thinks that shit's gonna happen again, no. All right. Another thing that I haven't mentioned previously, but that we have to uh, do defensively is force the Lynx to shoot off the dribble. All right, it doesn't matter what teams, players they're going against, and I hate to say, especially in the W, it's not as much a thing. It is because shooting off a dribble is a unique skill set, and what it does in a nutshell, it creates inefficiency. It's not very efficient. If you have to keep on doing it, unless it's just Steph does it every damn game. He'll put up 40 on you off the dribble. So and same Caleb Clark, same way. But they're different kinds of players. You know what I mean? Everybody can't do it. There's a reason. And I got a video clip here showing you what I mean. It's not just dribbling down the court and let's just say Caitlin pulling up from the logo. Yes, that's shooting off the dribble, but I'll just give you a simpler version of what I mean. But yeah, that's just one other thing on as far as defense goes. All right, our floor spacing against their man defense, right, is what we have to do. And I don't know if you noticed it or not, but if you pay attention to tonight's game, you will notice, right, is all right, floor spacing, but our guards have to stay, no wider than between, let's just say that, you got the outside, if you just drew it to half court, 3-point, a line straight up, and then the, edge of the, the elbows all the way to the extended to half court. In between those two and the center is where we need to stay, because them playing, all right, you go right, all right, so their weak side man comes all the way over. So now they got, 4 right there. They didn't do well. We scored a lot of points. Of course, we shot out our ass again. And I keep saying it can't keep happening. And miraculously it does. And other people step up. And good for everybody. Glad they did. And even though it didn't, result in a win ultimately. But it's just, like I say, it's all about sustainability, being able to do this, same thing, with the same result being a win, right? But like I say, right now it's like, fans, I don't know, organization itself included, or can't be doing anything other than beating their head against the wall, wondering what in the fuck are we doing when what Einstein said, definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again without changing a fucking thing. We ain't changed a fucking thing other than players. So by the end of the season, yes, the Fever may go through 30, 40, 45 players. You'd think, I don't know how many Steph needs before she can just, start to see talent or no talent when she sees it, because from where I'm sitting, that it ain't looking good. I mean, with just a few additions we've made, we got them all-star team, so I don't give a shit who you put in there as coach. They're going to do better than 19 and 17 now. After tonight, be 19 and 18, because and it's just my honest opinion. Hopefully we come out with a win, but I'm expecting we're probably going to get our asses handed to us, and she can get embarrassed again. Are they going to give her a year or two? Sure. People might say, well, she has a 2-year contract, or she got 3, or it's undisclosed. But it's all bullshit. We know that because DeWanna Bonner just decided not to show up for fuck work, and until you let me go. So if they want to buy that out, I'd say they can. And we all should know, because this whole season, while we're paying Stephanie White, we are still paying Christy Sides. So just so everybody knows.
The number for the #1 overall seed is down to 4, as Jessica Shepard, who had 16 rebounds last night, an offensive